Hi, I'm Hein, and this week I'm gonna over a reviewing of the fabrication of semiconductors. Especially today, I'm gonna talk about some processes of fabrication of semiconductors: the photolithography, oxidation, etching, ion implantation, and metallization. First of all, the photolithography is the process to make a pattern with light. So we can use the photoresist liquid on the vapor and expose the light on it. We can make a pattern with it. But nowadays, to make a fine pattern is very difficult. So many companies or the research associations use the specific tools like OPC or SPM to make a difference on the mask, or using the UV light to make a fine pattern. And the second process is oxidation. Oxidation is to make a oxygen layer on the semiconductor. So we can use two different types. One is wet oxidation, and the other is dry oxidation. The wet oxidation is fast, but the structure of the oxide can be less dense than dry oxidation. In opposite, the dry oxidation is a little bit slow than wet oxidation, but it is useful to make a dense structure of oxide. In oxidation process, the oxygen consumes the silicon of the vapor, so the SiO2 layer can grow upside and also grow the bottom side. And next process is etching. Etching is very important process in semiconductor fabrications. We can use two types of in etching, like oxidation. One is wet and the other is dry. Wet oxidation is really fast, but the structure of the profile of the semiconductor can be isotropic because it is very difficult to control the profile of the etching. But in opposite, the dry etching using the ion and basically hit the structure to etch some things. So it can be a little bit slow than wet oxidation, and it can be make some damage on the surface, but it is very useful to make an isotropic structure on semiconductor. And next, the ion implantation, like doping. When we make some device which is doped, we have to implantate the dopant on the semiconductor. In this case, we can use the two type of method. One is thermal diffusion and the other is ion implantation. Thermal diffusion is the process with the diffusion theory of the dopant. So if you put the pre-deposition on the structure and on the of semiconductor, and if you hit on it, the dopants can move to the less concentration areas by the thermal energy. But in this process, it is very easy and cheap, but it is very difficult to control the concentration of the dopant or position of the dopant, and in it high temperature, so it is a little bit difficult to use when you have to think about the summer budget problem. But the ion implantation is the process using the physical bombardment of the ions, so it is more easy to control concentrate and the position of the ion, but when you implantate the ions with the ion implantation, the ion hit the semiconductor surface basically, so it can damage the surface. And finally, the metallization process is the making a metal contact of the semiconductors. When we make a metal contact, it is very important to choose the proper materials, because when the contact resistance is too high, it is bad for the device. Today, I'm simply review the steps of the semiconductor fabrications, except the cleanings or preparing the wafers. But nowadays, the important thing is making the fine patterns on the semiconductors. So all the steps have to link very deeply. So controlling the specific parameters on each process is very important to make a fine patterns. Thank you for listening to today's reviewing. Next week maybe I will come back with the reviewing of the SCE, the short channel effect. Thank you.